Okay, today I talked about aliens on my other channel. If you guys don't know that I have another really big channel, an influencer channel, you can, it's going to come up somewhere, I'm going to suggest it. It's probably going to be a link over here. Go visit my other channel. I talk about aliens and what we are, and today I want to really go more into that because I want you to understand that there's something coming up that's going to expose us more to that. It's been demonstrated, right? Are you ready for this? Let's go. Welcome to Landria Onkka on YouTube. Tools to manifest anything. Breaking through fear. Break through fear. Don't eliminate it. Break through it. It's an illusion. You know, people that walk through the fire, like, oh, okay, I didn't get burned. If you walk fast enough, you don't get burned, right? That's all this is. I want to talk about aliens today because we have some things coming up. And it involves other beings. I want you to get ready for this. You know, there was War of the Worlds came out, and it was fiction. And it was done on the radio, broadcasted on the radio, and people didn't know that it was fiction. The aliens were invading. There was a War of the Worlds. People actually jumped out of buildings and committed suicide. Yeah, that's the kind of fear that existed back then because we were so much more dense. We couldn't even imagine that aliens could possibly be just neighbors. And that's all they are. Sometimes you have nicer neighbors than others, but you don't need to be afraid of your neighbors. And so nasty neighbors, if we had the nasty neighbors like we are told, we wouldn't exist because we'd be squashed like bugs. Like you get rid of bugs in your house, that's how they would treat us, but we're still here. What does that tell you? They understand the oneness of what we are. They understand that we are all part of one existence. And so to squash us like bugs would be doing something negative to themselves. There's repercussions. See, they're more advanced than we are. We do things and we think we're independent and individual. So we do things not realizing there is a direct cause and effect. The thing that you see happen later on as a result of what you did here was already in motion. So what I want you to understand is that everything is happening at the same time. Everything's happening. So whatever decision you make at every moment is creating. So that thing that happens in the future actually happens the minute you made that decision. Yeah, is that scary? Good. I want you to know that you don't have to be afraid, just be aware. So if you're afraid, this is where fear works in our favor. It motivates us to make changes, okay? Our galactic neighbors are going to show up. They're already here. They have been. Many of them look just like us. Why? Because we are part of them. We were created as part of them, not as an experiment. But you and I agreed to all of this. So what does that mean? That means that we were part of the creation of the human species, and then some of us as energy fields decided to come here and participate as individuals, seemingly individuals, although we're not. To appear as individuals in density. So we're part of the planning, the creation of the matrix, the creation of the avatars. We're part of all of it. I think that's pretty cool. So now we're in the game, and so now we actually look at anything outside of ourselves because we're in unconsciousness as a threat, because we're unconscious. We didn't remember that we are part of, endless forms that all work together, not in separation. So we went into separation, so we know fear, and we know the differences between ourselves, and we recognize them as truth when there is no one truth. everyone's right. If you think it, it's true for you. But humans want others to think what they are because the ego believes there's just one truth and that its truth is the ultimate because it's in a 3D density. Yeah. Are you ready to go into this space and let go, let's say, of the idea that we're alone and that anything out there is negative because, you know what? We'd be squashed like bugs. We are such dense, destructive, negative creatures. We're pulling out of that. But if you see somebody else as a threat, it's no different than you think of your neighbor who you don't like. The aliens are a threat. My neighbor's a threat. Serial killers are a threat. The government's a threat. When does it end? They're all expressions of the one energy field, and that's it. That's it. Are you ready to embrace that? Can you let go and say there's another expression? What can I learn from it, and how can I contribute to it without trying to override somebody's free will or disapprove or judge it? It just is. We're going to have technology and things presented to us, but not if we're not ready. And so far we haven't been ready because we're still shooting down anything that comes into our airspace because we think we own it. We own our airspace. Well, Landria, it could be, some other countries coming in. We know damn well it's not. We know the difference between that and something of high technology. We know the difference. We're not stupid. All right, so that doesn't fly with me. So why would they try to help such a angry, self-serving species? Well, it affects them. So when they show themselves more and more, and they will be, they already have. They're showing themselves more and more because of our technology, because we have phones and we can record this. It's accelerating, letting us know they're there. And visiting more and more people who have agreed in advance and who are part of them, who are very much, part of the DNA of whatever came here and created us and contributed toward that and agreed to that and was aware of it. Nothing to be afraid. It's the unconsciousness. It's like waking up from a coma and not knowing who you are and having everything wiped. Is that real? And then people telling you how things are, right? And you're saying, no, that's impossible. Well, that's what we are. We had everything wiped. And so when we're introduced to something that goes outside of what we know, it's frightening. You have nothing to fear. Amazing things are going to be happening. There'll be demonstrations of peace and prosperity, health, community. Are you ready to do that? If you are, there's one thing you must do. Just one. You have to live it now. That means you cannot use plastic, toxins, anything that is destructive to animals, plants, or people. Anything that goes into the water systems, it has to end right now. You will not participate in a new earth. It's impossible for you to. You can't knock on the door and come in with whatever. In heaven on earth. It's just not allowed. Why not? It's not because you're not welcome. Because you won't even find that door to knock on. Because you're not on that frequency. You'll live in the world that pollutes and has total disregard. I asked a question on my Instagram. You can follow me on Landria Onkka Teachings on Instagram. I asked everybody, I'm going to ask you this question right now. If you had no garbage man coming, or woman coming, to pick up your stuff, and you were required to dispose of it on your own property, you are not allowed to take it anywhere else, would you change how you live and what you use? Of course you would. You wouldn't use plastic, would you? You'd use everything that was biodegradable. You'd go to the farmer's market with your reusable material bag like I do, have them put it straight in there, and you would refill things in containers you used over and over. You'd use bar soap. I'm going to give you I'm going to give you my Amazon shop bar soap, bar hair and conditioner, shampoo. It's amazing. If you don't like bar, I grate it. I think I showed you in a video. I grate it. I soak it into a liquid. I pour it in a container, fill it up with water, and it lasts forever, and it's amazing. So you can have your liquid. Keep a container. This is simple stuff, and it's healthy, and you're going to find your energy field clearing up. You ready for this? Because if you are, they will come. They will. So these are free. Come on over. I hope you'll buy Breakthrough Fear, my book. It will possibly blow your mind in a good way. Possibly get you to understand, oh my gosh, I'm powerful. I'm powerful. Yeah, right now. So I hope you'll subscribe, share my videos, share the word of power and peace, and there's nothing to fear, and that our neighbors are peaceful. They want the best for us, because when we flourish, they do. And they've been watching and waiting to come over with the welcome basket. And we've been shooting at them like, you know, the Beverly Hillbillies. Yeah. All right, nothing wrong with Beverly or Hillbillies, by the way. So you're whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. And if you want to go to Amazon, if you don't find a link in the description, Breakthrough Fear is the name of the book by Landria Onkka. I appreciate your purchase that spreads the word that this is what we want more of. Positivity, expansion, health, wealth, joy, compassion, community. It exists right now. It's just a choice. Namaste.